children, welcome to your science video lecture. So children, as you all know that in our previous videos we have completed the chapter number 6 by the name Changes Around Us. Okay, and now today we are going to start the chapter number 7 from your book, NCERT book by the name Getting to Know Plants. Okay, so as the name suggests, you can have a brief idea that what we are going to study in this chapter. We are just going to study about different kind of plants and how they what are the important parts of plant. Okay, so these are the things that we are going to study in this chapter. Okay, so if I say or ask you that go outside and observe the different plants or trees that are outside, so you will observe that some of the plants are smaller, some of the plants are bigger, while some of the plants are quite old, some were growing, some are very short. So these are the observations that you can make if you go outside and observe all the plants or all the trees that are outside, right? So they all are different from each other. There are some plants which are very short, there are some plants which are very long, or you can say very big. Okay, so there are different type of plants outside, and according to these we study these the plants that we will discuss further in this video. But before we move on up to study about plants, I want you to all understand that why it is important for us to know about plants. Okay, why we should know that what type of plant this is or what is the properties of these plants. Okay, so let's study that why study of plants is important. Plants are the one only sources of oxygen on earth, right? We all know that plants are the source of oxygen to us, only source of oxygen to us, right? Then the second point is that they are a major source of food which we eat. Yes, we all know that the food that we eat is somehow indirectly or directly is related to plants, right? They maintain soil fertility. Okay, plants maintain the soil fertility, and due to which we get different type of foods and fruits. Okay, they prevent soil erosion. What is soil erosion? Soil erosion is the distortion of soil, right? Distortion of top part of the soil, that is soil erosion. So plant helps the soil helps in soil prevent helps to prevent the soil erosion. They causes rain. Okay, one major reason for knowing the plants and why the plants is important for us is that because they are the causes of rain. They regulate the temperature of the earth, means they helps to maintain the temperature of earth. Okay, plants helps to maintain the temperature in the earth, on the earth. Then give shelter to many animal, insects and birds. Shelter means home. Plants are home for many animals and many insects and many birds. Okay, and the list that why plants are important for us goes on. Okay, so the list, you can make the list pretty longer, but these were the some important points. These were some important points that I thought you should know about. That oxygen the oxygen that is very necessary for us is given by plants. The food that we eat, which is a pretty much very bigger source of to live in this earth is the food, right? We all know that food is pretty important for us, and the plants are the original source from which we get our food. And similarly, soils are pretty important, and plants helps to prevent the soil erosions. So these were some points after reading which I hope that you understand that why the plantation or plants is important for us as a human. Now after this, students, let's move on to the classification of plants. Okay, so on the basis of thickness of their stem, okay, and the places of origin of their branches, the plants are broadly classified into 3 types. Okay, according to the thickness means motapa of the stem. Okay, according to the thickness of the stem and the place of origin of the branches, the plants are classified into three major categories, that is herbs, shrubs and trees. Okay, so now let's see what are herbs. First of all, herbs are, what are herbs? These are the plants that have green and frail stem. Means the stem is very pretty, as you can see in these pictures also, that the stems are pretty fragile, right? If you will try to break it, it can easily be broke. You can easily broke the stem, right? It is pretty easy for you to break the stem. So the stem is fragile and they are pretty much green. Usually they are small plants with fewer branches. It means those plants which are pretty small. Okay, and the general thing that you should know about herb is that it is not the herbs, the minimum height of herbs are 1 meter. Okay, they are not bigger than 1 meter. So, and what else, they are very thick. Okay, sorry, they are very fragile. If you try to touch the stem, you can break the stem pretty easily. Okay, so what are herbs? They are small plants, less than 1 meter they have height. Okay, their stems are pretty tender. Tender means they can easily be torn apart, and they have few branches. Few examples of herbs are here downwards. Methi, that is green, then mint, that is pudina, and coriander, in Hindi we call it as dhania. So these are some examples of herb. Okay, herb are the smallest plant, you can say. Then let's move on. Here are some examples of herb. Okay, so these are some examples of herbs: rosemary, bay, sage. Okay, these are some example of herb. Then let's move on to the next type, that is shrubs. Okay, so what are shrubs? Shrubs are these are plants with hard but not exactly thick stem. Okay, they are hard but they are not exactly pretty thick compared to the other that is tree. Okay, so you can say simply that they are medium sized plant. Okay, medium sized plant. The first one, that was herbs, they were small sized plant, and shrubs are medium sized plant with the minimum height of 1 to, what is the minimum height? That is 1 to 3 meter. Okay, and thin and hard stem. They have thin and hard stem. And what else? Branches arises near the base of the stem. So their branches generally origin from the base of their stem. Base means, you can see here, this is the tree, this is the plant. Okay, so stem is starting from here. So base means niche se shuru hona. So the branches are starting from the base of the stem. Okay, so as you can see in all the pictures, that all the shrubs, they have the starting point, the stem, the branches are starting from the stem and bottom of the stem, right? So this is the second thing. And the third point is that these are much taller than herbs but are usually shorter than trees. Okay, so you can say they have medium size. Medium means beech ka. That is, first one, herbs are the smallest one, then comes the shrubs, and after shrubs we talk about trees. So now we are talking about shrubs. So some example of shrubs are jasmine. Okay, plant of jasmine. Rose is an example of shrub. Tulsi plant is an example of shrub. And hibiscus, that is China rose, it is an example of shrub. Okay, and the third type of plant is trees. We all know what are trees. Trees are the biggest one, right? They are the tallest plant. Not the tallest, among all the three types of plants, trees are the tallest one. Okay, and their branches, their stems are pretty thicker, right? We all know this. These are the plants which are very tall and have a thick and hard stem. Okay, they have thick and hard stems. The branches originate from the upper part of the tree and are very high above the ground. And they are very high above the ground. As you can see in this pictures also, that all the trees that I have shown in the picture are pretty big, right? And they have the thick branches. They have thick branches and thick very hard stem. Okay, and what else? They are above the ground level, pretty much above the ground level, right? So these are the trees. So what are the three types of plants? First one is herbs. Herbs are the smallest one, and the estimated height of herbs are 1 meter. Okay, they don't go above that. Okay, after that, what is the second type of plant? That is shrubs. Shrubs are the medium sized plant which has a height up to 1 to 3 meters. Okay, and their branches mostly arises from the base of the stem. Okay, and then we have talked about the third type, that is trees. So what are trees? Trees have height, they are the tallest among all the three, and they have height more than 3 meters. Okay, and the branches of the tree, or you can say, yes, the branches of the tree are pretty high from the ground level. Okay, now let's move on, students. Now we are going to talk about the other two types of plants. Okay, there are other two types of plants. They are creepers and climbers. Okay, so now let's see what are creepers. So as you might have seen the plant of pumpkin. So as you all know that pumpkin is pretty heavy. So the branch of the pumpkin tree cannot grow above. Okay, it cannot stand up above straightly, so they started growing themselves on the ground. So that is why they are known as creepers. So what is creepers? These are the plants which have soft, weak and green stem. Hence they cannot stand straight and instead spread themselves on the ground. Okay, because the fruit that grows on the plant, they are pretty heavy. So the plant is not able to, the stem of the plant is not able to grow upside. So that is the reason that they start growing in they start spreading in the ground. So you can see here in this both pictures that one is the picture of pumpkin and the second one is of bottle gourd, that is Loki. Okay, bottle gourd is Loki. So both the pictures is showing that how the stem of the plant cannot stand straight because of the heavy weight of the fruits. Okay, fruits and vegetables. So they start growing and spreading on the ground. Okay, so that is why they are known as creepers. Creepers basically means they starts growing on the ground. Okay, and the two main examples of it is pumpkin, that is kaddu, and bottle gourd, that is Loki. Okay, now other than creeper, the second type was climbers. So climbers, I hope that the name is striking something in your mind. By climbers means those stems which can climb. Okay, so what are climbers? These are also plants with soft and weak stem. Instead of spreading themselves on the ground, that take the support of a nearby object to climb up. Okay, so whatever object the plant find around itself, like a wall, or if you have a tree, another tree, or you have, like in this picture, in the first picture, you can see they have put different type of threads as a support system for the plant to grow. So they are able to, as they are not able to stand straight, but they are able to climb up with the help of the nearby object. So they are known as climbers. Climb means chadna, right? Climb means to climb means they started climbing the object that is nearby, and that is how they are known as climbers. Okay, and some example of climbers are bitter gourd. Okay, bitter gourd is what? Bitter gourd is, in Hindi we call it as karela. Okay, and grapes. Okay, so these both are examples of climbers. And what are the examples of creepers? Bottle gourd and pumpkin. Okay. Okay, students, now let's move forward. Now, first of all, let's discuss the parts of plants. So I hope that all of you are familiar with the parts of plants, but in case generally, let's discuss it quickly. Parts of plants are what? Flower, okay, then we have fruit, stem, leaf, branches, ground level, and ground under the ground level we have root, right? So the parts of plants are what? Root is a part of plant, branch, leaf, stem, fruit and flowers. These are the parts of plants. So we are going to discuss every part in the chapter so that you all understand the parts of plant and what are their functions. We are also going to discuss the function. So first thing that we are going to start is by stem. Okay, so let's see what is stem. The stem is the part of the plant that bears branches. Bear means they hold the branches. Okay, they hold the branches, flower, leaf, fruit and buds. So as you can see here in the picture that this is the stem, right? This is the stem. So stem is holding the flower also, fruits also, and leaves also and branches also, right? First of all there is stem, and after stem there is the branches are growing on the stem, and then the fruits are growing on the stem, the flowers are growing on the stem. So stem is basically something that holds all the whole of the tree, whole of the plant, right? The branches, flowers, leaves, fruits and buds, all they are holded by the stem. Okay, and it grows above the ground level. Okay, so branches, so stems grows above the ground level. Now I hope that you understood what is stem. Now let's see that what are the functions of stem. So the first function of stem is it is responsible for supplying water and minerals from root to all parts of the plant. So what is the first function of stem? The first function of stem is that it transports the water and minerals from the root to different parts of the plant. Okay, so as you can see in this picture, what is the work of the stem? As you can see, this is stem. So stem will do what? Stem will absorb the water from through the roots, and through the roots the stem is the stem is actually transporting the water and minerals to different part of the plant. And what is the second function? That is, it also helps in transporting food prepared by leaf to different parts of the plant. Okay, so when the leaf prepare the food, that is through the process of photosynthesis. I will explain you further in this video that what is photosynthesis. Okay, so when the leaf is able to produce its food, so the food to reach to the different parts of the body, different parts of the plants, is through the transportation of stem. Okay, so stem helps in the transportation of food from leaves to different parts of the plant. Okay students, so to see that yes, stem helps in supplying water and minerals from the roots, through the stem it's possible that water and minerals can be transferred to the plant. Let's do a simple activity. Okay, so for the activity, first of all what you have to do is that, so let's see what is the activity about. Okay, so the activity is all about to show how the stem helps in conduction of food. Okay, how so conduction of water. Okay, so how the stem transports the water. So let's see this. First of all, what you have to do, you have to take 3 jars, and in those 3 jars you have to take water. Okay, 1/3 of the water. What you have to do, take 3 separate glasses of water and fill 1/3 of water with water and add some drop of colored ink to it. So you have to take 3 jars, and then in those 3 jars you have to put color ink, some color ink. Okay, so we have taken 3 jars, and in those 3 jars, in the first one we have put it the green color, in the second we have put the red color, and in the third one we have put the blue color. Okay, and cut the base of a stem and put it in the glass having colored water. So what we have done, then we have gone outside and put a part of a plant, a stem of a plant, and then after cutting the stem, we have put the stem in those containers. Okay, so after some time, few times later, what is the observation that you are going to make? That is, the observation will be that after some time, while the stems and the leaves of the plant changes color and take after the color of the ink. So what will happen, as we have left the left the thing there, what will happen, the stem will transport the water which is in this container of which color, this one is of green, this is of red, and this is of blue color. So it will transport the color which is the colored water through the different part of the plant. Okay, this is the proof that the stem carries the water to different parts of the plant. As we have colored the plant, colored the water, we can see clearly that the color of the water is also getting absorbed by the whole plant. So you can see that all the plant through the stem is absorbing the water, and that is the reason that they have changed the color. Right, the first one, as it was green, and plants are green, so it has absorbed it has got darker green. But the second one was red, and after the red ink is getting absorbed, getting into transporting through the stem, the color of the plant changes, and similarly with the blue ink. Okay, so as you can see that stem have narrow tube inside them through which the water travels upwards. Okay, so this is how you can see that yes, stem has the ability to transport water from roots to different parts of the plant, or you can say through, yes, different parts of the plant. Okay, now students, okay, let's continue. Now next we are going to talk about parts of leaf. Okay, leaf is also a part of plant, and as we are studying about the parts of plant, now we are going to study about the parts of leaf first, so that we can understand it clearly. So first part that we are going to study is patinole. Okay, and what is patinole? Patinole is this part of the leaf. Okay, and what is patinole? It is the stake by which the leaf is joined to the plant. Okay, this is the part through which the leaf is joined to the stem. Right, so this is patinole, through which this is the small stalk by which the leaf is joined to the plant. Okay, so this is patinole. Then lamina. What is lamina? This is the expanded part or the leaf which is photosynthesizing. This is lamina. This part of leaf is known as lamina. Then what is midrib? Okay, so midrib is what? Midrib is this one, this line. Okay, this is midrib. What is midrib? This is the central prominent thick structured line right in the middle of leaf, which helps support the leaf and its from breaking. Okay, it supports the leaves from breaking. And what is midrib? Midrib is this section of the leaf, the middle section, which is the very prominent section which you can see clearly, and it is a very structured line. You can see it very clearly. Okay students, then we are going to talk about veins. What are veins? Veins are these lines. Okay, you might have seen a leaf. So when you have seen a leaf, you can clearly see that the leaf has small different type of veins like this. Okay, so veins are just you can understand it as like we have veins in our body. Similarly, plant have veins also. Okay, so what are veins? The many lines that run through the surface of the leaf are called veins. Okay, this is the surface of leaf. So the many lines that are going through the leaf is known as veins. They transport water and minerals. And what is the work of veins? The work of veins is to transport water and minerals. Similarly, as our body, the veins in our body transport blood to different parts of the body. Similarly, the veins of plants, the veins of leaf is to transport water and minerals to different parts of the leaf. Okay, now we are going to study about leaf venation. So what is leaf venation? Leaf venation is generally a sign, or you can say the different patterns that the veins draw. Okay, so as you can see, these are some the leaves of plants given here down, and in all these plants you can see that the veins are forming different type of design, right? In this first one, the veins are simply going and it is forming designs like this. Similarly, in the second one, the veins are going like straight and forming small sections. And in the step of rose also, these are the plants, name of the plant is also mentioned down here. You can see the veins of these are going simply above, right? And neem leaf also, they are also have this similar way, the veins. Okay, so generally veins are divided into two types. Okay, types of vein in leaf venation. Okay, so first one is reticulate venation. What is reticulate venation? It is a type of venation in which the veins form a net like shape. Okay, you can see these all in these four pictures, they are forming a net like structure on their side of the midrib. Okay, wait a second. So whenever in reticulate venation is what? Reticulate venation is that venation in which the vein forms a net like structure through the midrib, either side of the midrib. As you can see, this is the midrib, this is the midrib, this is the midrib, and this is the midrib, and around the midrib they are forming a net like shape, right? This is a net like shape, this is a net like shape. So that is known as reticulate venation. Okay, now let's move forward. Leaf venation. Okay, we are continuing the topic leaf venation. The second type of venation is parallel venation. Parallel means, I hope that all of you know the meaning of the word parallel. Parallel means whenever two lines, okay, they two lines which have similar distance between them and they are not going to meet anywhere. Okay, so even if we extend this line, the line will never meet if it has a similar distance between both of them. So as you can see that in these all examples, tulip, turmeric, bamboo and banana leaf, the venation that is the veins of the plants, here these are the veins, the small strips, little strips, these are the veins. So they have parallelity between them. Okay, so this is known as parallel venation. Okay, and what is reticulate venation? Reticulate venation is when the veins form a net like shape around its midrib. And then parallel venation is what? When the veins form a parallel structure, parallel lines between the veins. Okay, so now let's move on. We are going to talk about, yes, functions of leaf. Okay, so function of leaf, first function, to understand first function, we can perform a simple little activity through which it might be very easy for you to understand the activity. So for this activity, what you have to do, first of all, we have to do the thing that you will need is a plant and a polythene bag. And what you have to do, you simply have to put the polythene bag on the leaves of the plant, and you have to tie the leaf something like this. Okay, so tie the polythene something like this on the leaves. Okay, like this, so that the polythene, what it shows, after some time, after this activity, you can observe the property of transpiration. Okay, transpiration is what? It is basically that when you will see and when you will observe after some time, you will observe that the tiny droplets of water are inside the polythene bag. Okay, which proves that leaves have performed transpiration. And what is transpiration? Transpiration is the process by which plants release the excess amount of water in the form of vapor into the air. Okay, so as you know, by this activity, what we have done, we have simply stuck, as you can see, and you know that how we do the condensation process, right? We put the lid on the evaporating substance so that the vapors cannot escape the container. Similarly, when we have put the polythene bag on the plants, okay, leaves of the plant, so we have actually bounded the vapors inside the polythene bag, and after after cooling, what happens, the wafer gets converted back into back into water form, which is due to the condensation of vapors, right? So that this property is known as transpiration of leaves. Okay. Okay students, here we will finish our video. In the next video we are going to discuss another functions of leaf, okay, and then we are going to study about other different parts of the plant. Okay, in this video we have just discussed different types of plants. After the types of plants, we have discussed about stem, okay, and functions of stem, and after that we have talked about leaves and one function of leaf through an activity. And I hope that you are able to understand the activity, okay, and if you want to perform this activity, you can pretty much perform this activity at your home. Okay, thank you so much students.